Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Sit down, pour yourself a drink, and prepare for today's guest that will make you think the next time you open a bottle of wine. Now, I'm one of life's curious types, and I've always had the most random thoughts running through my head. For listeners of a certain age out there was a scene in an old Tom Cruise movie called Cocktail, and his character was a wannabe entrepreneur, and he was sat in, I think it was in Malibu with next to Elizabeth Shue, and he said, "Look at these cocktail sticks, they've been made by a millionaire. And even the plastic at the end of my shoelace, that was made by a millionaire. We're surrounded by them." To which Elizabeth Shue said the immortal line, "Yeah, I bet they're called something like frugal binders." Anyone remember that line? But he had a point in that movie, that we're all surrounded by million-dollar ideas without even realising it. Take a humble bottle of wine, for example. Have you stopped to think of the closure on that bottle? And did you know that they were PlantCorcs, natural corks, Vintop Screwcaps, Syntek synthetic corks, and Vinolok glass closures? I had no idea either. But today's guest is from Vinventions, the most innovative and trusted provider of complete wine closure solutions worldwide. But in order to support its growth plans, the company has completed a successful refinancing plan recently with an injection of an additional $40 million from existing shareholders. But it's the innovation and technology behind this company that really interests me too. So let's learn something together today. So buckle up, hold on tight as I beam your ears today all the way to North Carolina so we can speak with Chief Innovation Officer Malcolm Thompson. Massive warm welcome to the show, Malcolm. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
I'm Malcolm Thompson. I work for Vinventions. I'm the company's Chief Innovation Officer and President for the Americas business. So as my title suggests, I wear two hats with the company. As President, I oversee our business operations really in new world markets, North and South America and the Asia Pacific region. But my day job really relates to innovation. And I lead a pretty remarkable team consisting of 50 or so technical professionals that really drive research and development for the company. We've been able to achieve some pretty remarkable things. I've been with the company for 15 years, joining with Corks, which became part of the Vinventions family in 2015. And really in the last 10 years, we've been successful in launching roughly 30 new products and filing about 150 patents. So we're really an innovation-driven company, and we think the results that we've been able to achieve truly demonstrate that.
Fantastic. Now, one of the reasons I record this podcast on a daily basis now is that I'm fascinated by how technology is transforming multiple industries. And I do get a bit of a kick out of sharing stories that many wouldn't automatically associate with technology. So when Vinventions appeared on my radar by having the vision to be the most innovative and most trusted global supplier of complete wine closure solutions to both the still and sparkling wine industry, it really made me stand up and take notice. So can you tell me a little bit more about the history of the company and how you got here, what you do, and what makes it stand out from the crowd?
Sure, Neil. Great question. You can start with wine closures in general, and it's a really misunderstood category. Most consumers don't understand the importance and the role that the closure plays as it relates to wine. Wine, unlike virtually any other beverage, is not finished at the time it's bottled and closed. It continues to develop, and the closure plays a very significant role in how wine preservation or aging occurs, as well as the consistency of that wine development, as well as potential for quality defects and faults, as we call them. So it's a very misunderstood category, and technology is really important. As our mission suggests, we are the most comprehensive provider of closure solutions, when compared to any other company supplying products to the wine market. We have our Vinventions house of 7 brands. And as that suggests, we have 7 product brands and service brands that we're offering to the market today. And I'll just sort of walk you through those. It starts really with what you might regard as our flagship brand, Vinolok, which are a line of plant-based closures that have their raw materials that are derived from sugarcane, which results in those products having the lowest carbon footprint of any other closure product being offered to the market today. And again, that's a line of highly engineered products that's really positioned in premium wines. Conversely, we have our Syntek product, which is a true synthetic product. So you might say fossil fuel based, and that's really positioned for more basic or popular premium wines, but still very high quality and consistent in performance. We have our Ollinger brand, which is encapsulates our natural cork products, and we have a couple of key offerings under that brand. One is called Selection, where we sell top quality natural cork, where each cork is hand tested or tested to ensure no possibility of taint or what we know as TCA, which can lead to wine faults. And we have a new offering called Suber, which is a really exciting product and which falls under what's known as the microagglomerated closure category. And I'm sure I'll have an opportunity later in this interview to come back to that product. Again, it's an extremely exciting development for Vinventions. We have 2 screw cap brands, Vintop and Allplast. Vintop is really a highly decorated, customizable product intended for more premium wines. And then we have our more cost-effective and actually the newest member of the Vinventions brand family called Allplast, which is really and still a very high quality product, but intended for more cost-effective wines. Then we have 2 service brands known as Wine Quality Solutions and Wine Marketing Solutions. And Wine Quality Solutions consists of a series of tools and services that we offer to our customers that are designed to help improve the quality of their wines by providing real-time quality control, not only on the bottling line, which is really critical to our closure business, but upstream as well during the entire winemaking process. And where Wine Quality Solutions is designed to help our customers improve the quality of their wines, we have Wine Marketing Solutions, which is a series of services designed to help our customers market and sell their wines, essentially. So you can see we have a very full offering that's designed to fully address the needs of our customers in terms of wine quality, in terms of wine closures. And with these service brands, we help our customers utilize those closures while improving the quality of their wine and the manner by which they market them. Today we provide roughly 2.7 billion closures to the market. That's based on 2017 results. That makes us the second largest wine closure company in the world. Gives us a market share of around 13%, or expressed another way, we protect one in every bottle of wine worldwide.
Glad you've made that point there, because for anyone listening that's not heard of you guys, you are possibly one of the best kept secrets, not only in wine, but in tech too. I mean, the technology behind 2.7 billion wine closures in 2017, and that 13% increase in share of the total global closures market is something quite special. As presumably there is a lot of technology behind that makes that possible, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's several factors that's leading to the success that we've had in the market and the market share we've been able to achieve, and we are very much a growth-driven company, with growth coming, as a direct result of our innovations. And so if you look at last year and what we consider to be, let's say, the major driver behind the growth that we experienced, you got to start with the Vinolok Green Line. And as I mentioned previously, that's our plant-based closure product that was introduced in the market really only in 2016. But in 2017, alone, we were able to grow that product line by roughly 800 million closures, which makes it actually the fastest growing category of wine closures in the market today, which includes screw caps. And we would expect going ahead in 2018 that we're going to continue to experience substantial growth, and Nomocork will be leading the way, and we expect that figure to potentially double. So that's really been a major breakthrough and innovation for us, and kind of our first step into what we call, sustainable high-performance closures, and that's really where we're going in terms of the future of Vinventions. The other area, of course, that is fueling growth is screw caps and our Vintop product line, where we have some unique capabilities in terms of the manner by which we can decorate those products. And of course, screw caps is a growing area, and now being part of the Vinventions family, we're in a position to globalize our offering there. And so clearly Vintop is also a source of significant growth to the company.
Now, when I looked a little deeper into what you guys do, I could see straight away that customer proximity, innovation, local entrepreneurship, open teamwork, sustainability and long-term responsibility are all your core values. But can you tell me a little bit more about how technology is making you bring these values to life and how you're using tech to disrupt, which is often seen as a very traditional industry?
Yeah, another great question. Well, as you mentioned, innovation is a guiding principle for Vinventions, and as I pointed out, we regard ourselves as really being an innovation company with innovation at our core. And it really started with the introduction of Nomocork, the very first Nomocork product, which will take you back to 1999 or so. And that was a highly disruptive offering, considering at that time that natural cork had a true monopoly. Virtually 100% of the products used to close wine were natural cork or natural cork derived products. So Nomocork really changed the face of the wine closure industry. Another example would be around 2005, 2006. We initiated research in the direction of oxygen management, and at the time, the importance of oxygen to winemaking and wine preservation was simply not understood. It wasn't being measured at all, and if you can't measure it, you really can't control it and understand it. And through, let's say, some major research and development efforts that spanned quite a number of years, working with some of the most credible wine institutes around the globe, we were able to really develop a deep understanding for oxygen management. And today, it's regarded as an area of critical importance to winemaking, particularly as it relates to quality control. Moving forward, I mentioned this focus we have on sustainable high performance closures, and really we think that's what's going to drive future growth in the company, where sustainable performance really relates to wine preservation, consistency, and products that are taint free, while at the same time that really look and in terms of consumer ease of removal and reinsertion or reapplication, they perform very well. But also it relates to sustainability from an environmental perspective, and we think that's really key, where we need to give attention to products that are derived from natural sources, that certainly have a low carbon footprint, recognizing carbon footprint as a key environmental indicator, at least as it relates to climate change and global warming. But also what's important is to consider the end use of those products, or let's say post-use of the products, and really having products that either return to the earth through biodegradability or are easily recycled, so they become raw materials that feed other product streams that have viability. So that's really some examples, let's say, of where we've changed the industry, but going ahead and this focus on sustainable high performance closures, we think is the future.
And I think you've also recently decided to increase your capital by an amount of $40 million US. And how's that going to help support your growth and those future developments too?
Yeah, that's an extremely positive development. First and foremost, it helps the balance sheet, and I won't say further on that. But it's funding. It's there to fund a merger and acquisition activity. Not that we're planning anything overly major there, but I gave reference to the newest brand in our family, which is called Allplast, and that took place very recently, and that's an example of the type of investment that those funds are available to support. But really, the major intent for that investment is to fund our innovations, and we have a couple of major new product initiatives that we're taking. One is I gave reference to before is called Suber, which is really regarded as the most sustainable microagglomerated cork, and I'll come back and describe that in a little more because that is a really important development for us, and we have some major plans for screw caps, and recognize that we have all of these brands that I referenced already, but we're not a Me Too supplier. Our objective is to provide products that are differentiated in truly meaningful ways through innovation. So I gave reference to our track record of launching 30 new products in the last 10 years. Well, that pace is going to continue. It's not going to be just specific to the Nomocork line. It's really going to span those other closure products, including natural cork and screw caps. And, we're a growth-driven company, and we plan to globalize the offering of these new products. And of course, that requires funds, and that's where that $40 million, most of that $40 million will be applied.
Now, you did say earlier on in the episode there that you do spin quite a few plates, but in your role as Chief Innovation Officer, what are your biggest challenges or opportunities that you're facing at the moment?
Well, the wine industry is a very traditional industry, yeah. And wine closures are a highly misunderstood, closure category, and so education is a major requirement, and it's a challenge to explain to winemakers or other key decision makers the importance of the closure to wine quality, and also that not one closure is ideal for all scenarios, for all types of wines or all types of wine drinkers. So there's a place for each of these closure types, and although tradition is wonderful and it's romantic, that we got to keep in mind the quality of the wine, and we shouldn't accept tradition at the cost of wine quality, and so maybe expressed another way, natural cork is a beautiful thing, particularly if it's a natural cork like our selection product that is individually tested, so it's consistent in performance and does not create wine taint or TCA problems, which can account for anywhere, let's say, up to 10% of wines being affected by that. So there's a place for natural cork, but as for more iconic type wines, but as you move into higher volume wines, there are some alternative closure products that really perform consistent, that are designed to allow wines to age in an optimum fashion, and which don't cause this cork taint. So it really comes down to educating the industry, on the role of these kind of products as more favorable alternatives for closing wine.
Now, innovation is a big, big buzzword, and a lot of businesses go after it in completely the wrong way. So I've got to ask you, what are the biggest mistakes that you see businesses making when it comes to innovation?
Well, and I think I can sort of go back and reiterate what I just said,
yeah.
And I think that that really it's a I won't say it's an antiquated industry. Certainly, it's come a long way, yeah. Absolutely. But still, this pursuit tradition, let's say has potentially resulted in companies not being as bold as they should be or could be to really step outside the box, and it's really critical that you don't let tradition stand in the way of innovation. And I come back to what I said before about natural corks and their place in the market, and let's say limiting the acceptance and the adoption of alternative closures, which really have the potential to provide wines that are of a much higher quality and consistency and even cost effectiveness.
So, like you said there, it is a very traditional industry, but are there any big trends in the wine industry that particularly excite you at the moment, or do you see any disruption on the horizon?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think I referenced it already.
Yeah.
I gave when I mentioned sustainable high performance closures, and we're really zeroed in on that, and we think that's really the future direction for wine closures. At the same time, you have a really global trend towards premiumization of wines, which essentially might mean lower volumes, but a much greater focus on improving the quality of wines and also wines sustainability. And I think that wine closures will certainly play a vital role to help wineries differentiate their products in terms of packaging, while offering, let's say, perfectly matched solutions that meet the need of the winemaker, but also wine drinkers and various segments and wines of various types. The other trend we see, and we're already seeing it, by the way, in quite a number of markets, is that sustainability is going to shift from kind of nice to have to absolutely essential and a true differentiator, particularly as millennials start to have a more significant impact on the wine industry. They're going to demand products that are more sustainable, even prepared perhaps to pay more for that. But they'll be looking for true sustainability, that it's consistent with kind of an ethical commitment to the environment.
So what's next for Vinventions? Is there anything else you can share with us today?
Absolutely. Let's come back to Suber, and we have a lot of research and development going on within Vinventions, but this is by far our most important new product initiative. And what Suber is the world's most sustainable, high-performance, taint-free, and important to note, glue-free microagglomerated natural cork. And I'll explain that. Microagglomerates are category closures that are really exciting, and they have some momentum. What they consist of is a majority of cork granules that today products in the market utilize polyurethane glue to produce those closures. And really, as a company, Vinventions is of the belief that the utilization of polyurethane glue is unacceptable. We have some legacy products in our natural cork portfolio that contain polyurethane glue, but we have a corporate policy that before the end of 2018, we will be 100% glue-free. And the breakthrough with Suber is that it's the first microagglo that does not utilize polyurethane glue. It utilizes actually a binder that is derived from natural sugar. And the product itself is biodegradable. And so it's a truly sustainable offering that is also free from TCA and is really being positioned in more premium wines. We are rolling that product out to the market as we speak. So that's a really exciting development for us. By the end of 2018, we aim to grow another 200 million closures. So, our growth objectives are ambitious. We are a growth-driven company. If we look ahead to 2021, where today we're sitting at 13% market share, we're targeting 17%. So it says year upon year we're adding substantially to our market share. And so by the end of 2021, essentially 1 in every 6 bottles, will be closed with the Vinventions product. Neil, we're a company on the move, and we got a lot of momentum right now, and a lot of new products that we're bringing to the market. So you're going to be hearing a lot about us.
Fantastic. So if there are any CEOs or any big businesses listening to us talk today and fascinated by our conversation, can you just remind them of where they can find you guys online, and also contact a member of your team if they have any questions at all?
Absolutely. I think the best way to go is go to our website at www.vinventions.com. Of course, we can also be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can get there via our website, or you can go there directly by searching for @Vinventions. And there you'll find contact information if you're interested in, depending on where you're located, on who to go to. So.
Excellent. Well, a huge thank you for coming on the show today. I think when we think of wine, we do think of a very traditional industry, and I would imagine everybody within that industry are following the pursuit of tradition. But that is no longer an option for anyone now, or any business. And I love what you're doing there, and you're shaking things up a little bit. Like you say, you've got tremendous momentum, and it's all built on that sustainability. So it's a fascinating story. So a big thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, Neil. I enjoyed very much talking to you.
What a great story that was there. I mean, the next time you're at a dinner party and there might be an uncomfortable silence, I will let you talk about how you heard on this show Chief Innovation Officer Malcolm Thompson describe how Vinventions made 2.7 billion wine closures in 2017 alone, giving it a 13% share of the total global closures market. From that conversation starter, you can look around the room for other Flugelbinder moments, and you can thank me later for being the hero of the party. But seriously though, it's a great story, and it certainly made me think about how far-reaching technology and innovation really is. But do you have any similar stories or comparisons? Let me know. Email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, or send me a cheeky tweet to @NeilC.Hughes. As for me, I'll finish this show where I started, by quoting the legendary Brian Brown and say, Coughlin's Law, bury the dead and they stink up the joint. As for the rest of Coughlin's laws, ignore them. Oh, I can't help myself sometimes. I do myself no favours, do I? I better go. Thanks for listening, gang, and until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.